One of the biggest problems this present African young generation have is poor parenting. One of the biggest challenge that causes problem for this present African youth, that constrains their impact, is poor parenting. You know, as every species raises their children, the parents are always showing the children the possibilities that are resident in their DNA. These are things that we can do. For instance, as the eagle raises the eaglet stays in that place and watches the mother go out and comes back with a big snake. And the eaglet is watching. So where we came from, we don't fear snake. So snake venom have no impact against us. So we kill snake where we are coming from. And so as the eaglet is watching the mother and growing, whenever the eaglet sees a snake, the eaglet sees meat. This is a lunch for us. This one have no impact against us. It is in our possibility to kill it and eat it. Follow me carefully. As the species raises their babies, they show them practical possibilities that are resident in their DNA. Another example is a cub. A cub is a baby lion. As the cub is growing, the cub watches the mother lion, goes out and comes back with a big buffalo. And the cubs are watching. Are you serious? As big as this buffalo is, my mother can be able to kill it. So it is in our possibility to kill a very big buffalo. So weight don't scare us. Height don't scare us. Our paws and our fingers has given us the advantage. So as the cub is growing, if he sees a buffalo, what comes in his mind is what? Meat. Follow me carefully. Follow me carefully. The biggest problem an African young generation have is poor parenting. Because in the days of our fathers, as our fathers are growing up, our fathers watched their grandfathers, kept 4 wives at home. The man married 3, 4 women, and they kept their allegiance, their loyalty under this man. The man shouts and all the women submit. The man talks and they says, my lord. The man comes back home and pick any fowl he wants. That fowl has become a meat that day without asking which of the women that own it, and there is no argument about it. Total ownership was defined. So our fathers were growing up watching their grandfathers, living and showing the possibilities that are resident in their DNA. But unfortunately, the criminal Christianity came and it began, it says, from now onwards, the first assignment that the one who wants to follow me will deny his father and his mother. As you are denying your father and your mother, what you are denying is possibilities resident in your DNA. So why that young African father has grown up to hate the ways of his father, he has chosen to marry only 1 wife. And so you as the young African generation, you grow up seeing your young father fighting with your only mother. That man married only 1 wife, and yet there is too many fights in the house for the man. And so, number 1, psychologically in experiential knowledge, you didn't witness a family where a man have dominion and leadership over his family. So the fundamental now, number 1, is that a young boy who came out from a monogamous family have already 90% chances of marrying or failing in marriage. Because by experience, what his father has taught him is the inability of a man to put his women under control. As the baby is growing under the parents shows them possibilities that are resident in their DNA. Assuming you grow with your father with his 4 wives, or his 3 wives, or with his 2 wives, and you see practical experiences of how this man puts these women under tight leadership, easy understanding would have been. Instinct would have been built naturally by parenting. So the first problem is poor parenting. The second problem of this poor parenting is that some of us witness monogamy that has been mixed with polygamy. And that is where your father married many wives. Maybe your father married 2 or 3 wives. And these women have gone to become Christians. And so the women kept their allegiance or their loyalty with the reverend father or the pastor in the church. The pastor told your mothers what they do. And so what the woman has become is a judge against your father. And so you discover there is a big fight between your father and your mothers every day. You grow up in this polygamous family where the man talk and the women talk back, and there is fighting every day. And one day, as a young boy, you walk up to your father and say, Daddy, please, can you explain to me the reason why you married many wives? And the man, because of deficiency of knowledge, the man in his limited understanding of what his grandfather did, The man says, why we married many wives is because of agriculture. We need population to farm. And having biased your understanding that how can a man marry 3 women just because of agriculture? You says, no. We can go mechanize and there is no reason for us to marry many wives. Relax. This morning you have met Light of Africa, the cooker of men. I will explain to you the things your father didn't explain to you right. Why did your grandfather marry many women? Number 1, the first principle is the principle of stability. The principle of stability states that nothing on earth attained stability in tools. Stability starts finding expression from trace upward. Start with a bicycle. The 2 tires of a bicycle can never come to rest unless the pedal comes down. When that pedal comes down, it becomes 3-leg. Stability happens from trace. Nothing attains stability in tools. If you come in the world today, you discover the smallest indivisible particle is atom. Atom is the smallest indivisible particle on earth. And atom, being the smallest indivisible particle, is a polygamous man. In atom, you see the electron. In atom, you see the proton. In atom, you see the neutron. You now watch the movement of the proton in the nucleus. The proton doesn't move. The proton is fixed in one particular place. A woman is that proton. Follow me carefully. One universal intelligence runs this world. The day I catch you in my WhatsApp school, I will break that universal intelligence to you like a cola nut. A woman is like a proton in that nucleus, in an atom, resting one place. And then a man is like an electron revolving over those women. So one is uno. A woman is fixed, is transfixed. A man is not fixed. A man is allowed free movement. And then as the electron is moving, the electron is always pulled back by the centripetal force. But then there is another man called the neutron. What the neutron is doing there is separating the electron from the proton. Your father is that electron. Your mother is the proton. The second or the third wife becomes the neutron. Hi. That 2 people fight to death is because there is no third party. So the first fountain is for us to attain a family of stability. We need to introduce a neutralizing force. The second or the third wife becomes the neutralizing force between the fighting of the first of the man and the woman. Follow me carefully. I will explain this into you in such a way that if you don't understand it, you are just an akalamaja ekuke man, because I will explain it to the latter. The third wife is the neutron. He has come to separate this man from this woman because this man is direct opposite of a woman. When you hear them say that a man is opposite of a woman, it means that all the features in the body of a man is direct opposite of all the features in the body of a woman. Follow me carefully. A woman was created to be very, very selfish in nature because her selfishness preserves and takes care of the house. A woman manages the home. A woman represents the home. And selfishness is needed to manage the home. But a man represents the home and the society. And the one who takes care of the society must be very, very generous. So a man is very, very generous and a woman is very, very selfish. A man is generous to the extent that a man can go to fight a war for his community land that doesn't belong to him. It's our community land, but it's not that of Ihedi, but Ihedi we go and fight. That's how extent we are generous to even lay our own life to preserve our brother's land. And so in our culture, we understand that you don't mix selfishness and generosity. You separate the selfishness and separate the generosity. So the first fundamental of polygamy is gender segregation. Separating for me generosity and selfishness. And the first fundamental of monogamy is gender mixing. Mix for me selfishness and generosity. And any day you mix selfishness and generosity, what we understand that selfishness is going to swallow the generous man. And that is why the Bible told you that when 1 + 1 becomes 1, it says there will only be 1 remaining.